My name's Abigail, and I'm 32. I'm driving to our family's lake house in upstate New York, the summer sun heavy through my windshield. This place holds my best memories fishing with Grandpa George, who passed 6 months ago. But now, my stomach knots. Since my parents' divorce when I was 12, I've been the outsider. My cousins especially, Cassandra, never let me forget it. I grip a faded photo of me and Grandpa, wondering if I belong here. Have you ever felt out of place in your own family share where you're watching from below? And if this resonates, please like and subscribe. I step onto the lake house porch, my peach cobbler warm in my hands, its sweet aroma mixing with the scent of pine and grilled burgers. The string lights twinkle above picnic tables crowded with my family, their laughter loud over the hum of a country playlist. I'm still shaky from the drive, that old photo of Grandpa tucked in my purse now, but I force a smile. Maybe this year will be different. Aunt Margaret's at the edge of the crowd, scrolling her phone, her silver bracelets clinking. I walk over, hoping for a warm hello. "Hey, Aunt Margaret, I brought dessert," I say, lifting the dish. She glances up, her eyes sharp. "Oh, Abigail, you made it," she says, like it's a surprise. Her tone's clipped and she turns back to her phone, dismissing me. My chest tightens, but I push forward, scanning for a friendly face. Cassandra's holding court near the cooler, her sleek blonde hair catching the light. She's laughing with her sister Brooke, both in crisp sundresses that scream money. I take a deep breath and walk over, cobbler still in hand. "Hey, Cass. Looks like a great setup," I say, trying to sound casual. She turns, her smile fading into something sharp. "Oh, Abby didn't see you there," she says, her voice syrupy but cold. Brooke snickers, covering her mouth. I feel my face heat up, but I nod, setting the cobbler on a table. "It's fine," I tell myself. "Just keep moving." I spot Uncle Charles by the grill, flipping burgers with his son Nathan. They're talking low, their heads close together. I wander over, hoping to join in. "Hey, Uncle Charles smells amazing," I say, forcing cheer. He looks up, his mustache twitching. "Abigail, good to see you," he says, but his eyes slide back to Nathan. "We're just discussing the family business. Big plans for the expansion." His tone's polite but final, like I'm not part of the equation. Nathan doesn't even look at me, just nods at his dad. I swallow hard, my smile slipping. I'm not in the business, never have been, not since Dad left and I became the odd one out. I drift toward the living room, needing a moment to breathe. The walls are lined with photos, a collage of family moments. I scan them, my heart lifting at the thought of seeing myself in at least one. There's Aunt Margaret's wedding, Cassandra and Brooke at a ski resort, Nathan's graduation. But I'm not there. Not in the group shots, not in the old Christmas photos, not even in the one from the summer I turned 10, when I caught my first fish with Grandpa. My throat tightens. It's like I've been erased. I touch the frame, my fingers lingering on a photo of Grandpa smiling with Cassandra. Did they take me out on purpose? I shake it off and head back outside, determined to try again. Cassandra's organizing a group photo, now her voice loud as she directs everyone to the lawn. "Come on, let's get the whole family," she calls, waving at aunts, uncles, cousins. I start to join, but she catches my eye, her smile tight. "Just immediate family for this one, Abby," she says, like it's no big deal. Brooke smirks, adjusting her hair. I freeze, my sneakers rooted to the grass. Immediate family. I'm Grandpa's granddaughter, same as her. My hands clench, the cobbler dish forgotten on the table. I force a nod, stepping back, my heart pounding with something I can't name yet. Hurt, maybe. Or something sharper. Ellie, my teenage cousin, lingers nearby, her dark eyes watching me. She's only 15, quiet always on the edges of these gatherings. She doesn't say anything, but her look says she sees it, sees me. I try to smile at her, but it feels brittle. The camera clicks, capturing everyone but me, their laughter echoing as I stand alone. I turn away, my chest tight, and head toward the boathouse, needing air. Something's wrong here, deeper than I expected, and I'm not sure I'm ready to face it. The boathouse smells of damp wood and lake water, a quiet escape from the laughter outside. I lean against the wall, my breath uneven, trying to shake off Cassandra's words. Just immediate family. They sting more than I want to admit. I slip into the bathroom, tucked in the corner, splashing cold water on my face. That's when I see it carved into the door frame, my initials AM next to Grandpa's GT from when I was 8. We'd scratched them in secret one summer, laughing like conspirators. My fingers trace the jagged lines, and for a moment, I feel him here steadying me. I hear footsteps. Ellie pokes her head in her ponytail, swinging. She's holding a damp cloth, her expression soft but nervous. "You okay, Abby?" she asks, voice barely above a whisper. I nod, taking the cloth, though my hands shake. "Thanks, Ellie," I say, my voice tight. She hesitates, then steps closer. "Cassandra told everyone you don't really count," she blurts out, "since your dad left." Her words hit like a punch. I stare at her, the cloth dripping onto the floor. She looks down, guilty for saying it, but I'm glad she did. At least someone's honest. I clean up and head back to the lawn where dinner's in full swing. The tables are crowded plates piled with burgers and corn on the cob, but I'm directed to a seat at the far end next to an empty chair. The family's loud swapping stories, their voices overlapping. I try to join in, asking Uncle Charles about the time Grandpa took us all sailing. "Oh, that was a blast," he says. But then Cassandra cuts in, talking over me about a ski trip I wasn't invited to. Brooke chimes in, her laugh sharp, and soon they're all reminiscing about vacations I never saw. I pick at my food, my appetite gone. Then it happens. Brooke, sitting across from me, reaches for her wine glass and knocks it over, red liquid splashing across my white dress. "Oh my gosh, I'm so clumsy," she says, but her eyes glint with something mean. The table goes quiet for a second before Cassandra laughs loud and forced. "Don't worry, Abby. It's just a dress," she says, like it's nothing. I force a smile, my cheeks burning, and excuse myself. "I'm fine," I mutter, grabbing a napkin and heading back to the bathroom. My hands tremble as I dab at the stain, the red seeping deeper into the fabric. Ellie follows again, hovering in the doorway. She doesn't say anything this time, just watches me with those big, quiet eyes. I want to ask her why she's sticking around, but I'm too raw to talk. The stain won't budge, and I give up, tossing the napkin into the sink. When I return to the table, Cassandra's leading a toast. "To family," she says, raising her glass, her eyes skipping over me. Everyone clinks glasses, their smiles bright, but I feel invisible. Uncle David, my dad's brother, catches my eye for a moment, then looks away like he's ashamed to meet my gaze. I sit there, my plate untouched, the chatter swirling around me. Ellie's next to me now, picking at her food too. I notice her fidgeting with her bracelet, a nervous habit. I want to say something to her, to thank her for being there, but my throat's too tight. The air feels heavier now, like a storm's brewing. I overhear Aunt Margaret at the other end of the table, her voice low but sharp. Something about Grandpa's will, how it's going to fix everything. Fix what? I wonder, my pulse quickening. Whatever's coming, I know it's not going to be kind to me. The sun dips low, painting the lake golden as I walk toward the dock, my sandals slapping against the weathered boards. The family's gathered for photos, their voices carrying over the water, all fake cheer and posed smiles. My dress still smells faintly of wine, the stain a dull pink now, and my chest feels like it's caving in. I want to leave, to drive back to my quiet apartment and forget this reunion, but something keeps me here. Maybe it's Grandpa's carving in the boathouse, or maybe it's stubbornness. I don't know yet. Cassandra's in charge as always, her voice sharp as she arranges everyone. "Okay, let's do a generations shot," she calls, waving at Aunt Margaret, Uncle Charles, and the cousins. I step forward, thinking I'll slip into the back row, but Cassandra's eyes lock onto mine. "Not you, Abby," she says, her tone flat. "This is for the core family." My breath catches. Core family. I'm Grandpa's granddaughter, same as her. Aunt Margaret nods, her lips pursed like this is perfectly reasonable. The photographer adjusts his lens, ignoring me. I stand off to the side, arms crossed, watching them pose. Brooke adjusts her earrings, smirking. Nathan straightens his tie, oblivious. Uncle Charles laughs at something Cassandra whispers, and I feel like I'm watching a play I wasn't cast in. My throat burns, but I won't cry, not here. I turn toward the boathouse, needing to escape my steps, quick and unsteady. The air smells of algae and pine, and I focus on that to keep my heart from racing. Inside, I slump against a stack of life jackets, my fingers brushing the rough canvas. That's when I see it, Grandpa's old fishing tackle box tucked under a bench coated in dust. I kneel, my hands trembling as I open it. Inside, there's a folded note, yellowed but intact, with my name in Grandpa's shaky handwriting. Abigail. My heart. It starts dated a year before he died. You're my heart, Abby. Don't let them dim your light. My eyes sting as I read it, clutching the paper like it's a lifeline. Did he know how they'd treat me? Did he see this coming? Ellie's voice breaks my thoughts. She's at the door, her sneakers scuffing the floor. Abby, you okay? She asks, her voice small but steady. I fold the note, tucking it into my pocket. Yeah, I lie, forcing a smile. Just needed a breather. She steps closer, her eyes darting back toward the dock. Cassandra's telling everyone you're only here for Grandpa's money, she says, almost whispering. She said you're mooching off his estate. My stomach twists. Mooching? I visited Grandpa every month, brought him soup, listened to his stories. Cassandra barely called him. I stand, brushing dust off my knees, anger simmering under my skin. Let's go back. I say, my voice tighter than I mean it to be. Ellie nods, following me out. The family's still posing, the camera clicking like a metronome. I linger at the edge of the dock, my hands in my pockets, the note crinkling against my fingers. Uncle Charles glances over, his face hardening. You know, Abigail, he says loud enough for others to hear, your dad's choices left a mess for this family. His words land like a slap, and I freeze, my pulse pounding in my ears. Uncle Charles's words hang in the air, sharp and heavy like a blade I didn't see coming. My dad's choices. The dock creaks under my feet, the lake lapping quietly, but all I hear is my own heartbeat, loud and unsteady. I open my mouth to respond, but nothing comes out. Cassandra turns, her lips curling into a half smile, like she's savoring the moment. The photographer calls for another shot, and the family shifts their backs to me like I'm not even here. I walk away, my sandals slipping on the damp boards, heading toward the house. My hands are still in my pockets. Grandpa's note crumpled against my palm, but its warmth feels distant now. Inside the living room is dim, the party lights outside barely reaching the windows. I pause by the staircase, my breath shallow, trying to steady myself. The chatter from the lawn feels miles away, like I'm underwater, hearing voices through a haze. I overhear footsteps behind me, and I turn to see Ellie, her face pale. She's clutching her bracelet, twisting it nervously. They're having a meeting tonight, she whispers, glancing toward the dining room. About Grandpa's estate. I didn't know if I should tell you. My stomach drops. A meeting? Why wasn't I told? I ask, my voice sharper than I mean it to be. Ellie flinches, looking down. They said it's for family only, she mumbles. I feel the air leave my lungs like I've been kicked. I slip upstairs, my steps quiet, and pause outside the dining room door. It's cracked open, and Aunt Margaret's voice cuts through, low and biting. She has no claim here, she says. She's not part of this legacy. Cassandra chimes in, her tone icy. She's just riding Grandpa's coattails, thinking she'll get a handout. My nails dig into my palms, the note in my pocket feeling heavier now, like a secret I'm not supposed to know. I lean closer, my heart pounding, trying to catch every word. Uncle David speaks up, his voice softer, hesitant. Maybe we should include her, he says. She's still George's granddaughter. Cassandra laughs, sharp and mean. Oh, please, David. Her dad walked out. She's not one of us. I freeze, my breath catching. Not one of us. The words burn, carving deeper than the photo snub or the wine spill. I want to barge in to scream that I'm just as much Grandpa's family as they are, but my feet won't move. My throat's too tight, my chest aching like it's splitting open. Brooke's voice joins in, casual but cruel. She's probably just here to stir drama, she says. Let's keep this clean. I hear chairs shifting, glasses clinking like they're already moving on. I back away from the door, my hands shaking, and stumble into the hallway. Ellie's still there, her eyes wide with worry. Abby. I'm sorry, she says. reaching out, but I shake my head, unable to speak. I need airspace, anything to stop this suffocating weight. I slip out to the porch, the night air cool against my skin, but it doesn't help. The stars are bright, mocking me with their calm. I hear the dining room door open, voices spilling out, and I know the meeting's starting. They're deciding my place in this family without me, like I'm nothing. My fingers clutch Grandpa's note, and I wonder if he knew how deep this cut would go. The laughter from the lawn grows louder, and I feel smaller than ever, like I'm disappearing. The morning sun filters through the dining room windows, casting long shadows across the oak table where we're all gathered. I sit at the back, my hands folded tightly in my lap, the chair creaking under me. The air smells of coffee and tension, the family's chatter hushed as Mr. Harold the lawyer adjusts his glasses and opens Grandpa's will. My heart's racing, but I keep my face still, trying not to draw attention. Cassandra's across from me, her posture perfect, a smug smile playing on her lips like she's already won something. Mr. Harold's voice is steady as he begins reading out smaller bequests first. Aunt Margaret gets a chunk of savings, her face softening with approval. Uncle David's left, Grandpa's vintage car, and he nods, his eyes distant. Brooke gets a pearl necklace, her fingers brushing her collarbone like she's picturing it already. I wait, my breath shallow, expecting nothing. The family's eyes flicker toward me, then away like I'm a ghost they don't want to acknowledge. Ellie's next to me, her hands twisting in her lap, her locket glinting faintly. I notice it matches the one I found in Grandpa's tackle box, and my chest tightens with a strange hope. The lawyer pauses, flipping a page, and the room goes quieter. Cassandra leans forward, her eyes sharp. "What about the lake house?" she asks, her voice cutting through the silence. Everyone shifts, waiting. Mr. Harold looks up, his gaze steady, and I feel it before he speaks, a prickle down my spine. He clears his throat and says, "Abigail, this next part concerns you." My heart stops. Me. Every head turns and I feel their stares like needles. Cassandra's smile falters, her brows knitting together. Mr. Harold reads, "George Thompson bequeaths the lake house and its surrounding property to his granddaughter, Abigail Marie Thompson, in its entirety." The words hit like a thunderclap. The room freezes, the air thick with disbelief. My hands tremble and I grip the edge of my chair, trying to process it. The lake house. This place I've loved since I was a kid is mine. I see Grandpa's face in my mind, his warm smile as we fish together, and my throat burns. Cassandra lets out a sharp laugh, breaking the silence. "That's a mistake," she says, her voice loud. "Grandpa wouldn't do that." Aunt Margaret's face goes red, her hands flat on the table. "There's no way," she snaps. "Abigail. She's not even—" Her voice trails off, but the unspoken words hang heavy. "Not even family." I feel my pulse in my temples, my breath shallow. Brooke's staring at me, her mouth open like I've stolen something. Uncle David shifts uncomfortably, his eyes on the floor. Ellie's the only one who looks at me with something like relief, her lips twitching into a small smile. I want to say something to defend myself, but my voice is gone, swallowed by the weight of their anger. Mr. Harold holds up a hand, his expression calm but firm. "There's no mistake," he says. George was clear. Abigail visited him regularly, cared for him in his final years. He wanted her to have this. His words sink in, each one a lifeline and a wound. I visited Grandpa every month, brought him his favorite chili, sat through his stories about the war. They didn't. Cassandra's face twists, her eyes narrowing. She manipulated him, she says loud enough for the room to hear. She played the good granddaughter to get the house. My stomach churns and I feel the room closing in, their accusations pressing against me like a tide. Cassandra's accusation hangs in the air, sharp and venomous, and the room feels like it's tilting. My fingers grip the chair so hard my knuckles ache, but I can't look away from her. She stands her chair, scraping the floor, and points at me. "You wormed your way into Grandpa's life," she says, her voice rising. "You knew he was weak and you took advantage." My breath catches a hot flush creeping up my neck. I want to scream that I loved him, that I was there when she wasn't, but my mouth is dry, my words stuck. Aunt Margaret slams her hand on the table, her rings clinking against the wood. "This is outrageous," she says, her eyes blazing at Mr. Harold. George was confused in his final days. He didn't mean this. She turns to me, her gaze cold. "You don't deserve this house, Abigail. You're not even a real part of this family." Her words cut deeper than I thought possible, slicing through years of buried hurt. I feel my chest tighten like I'm suffocating in their judgment. Brooke leans forward, her voice dripping with scorn. "She's right," she says. "You've always been on the outside, Abby. Why would Grandpa pick you over us?" The room murmurs. Cousins nodding their faces, a mix of pity and disdain. Uncle David clears his throat, but his voice is weak. "Let's not escalate this," he says, glancing at me with something like guilt before looking away. I search for Ellie, hoping for her quiet support, but she's staring at her hands, her locket hidden under her fingers like she's afraid to draw attention. Mr. Harold adjusts his glasses, unfazed. George included a letter with the will, he says, pulling a sealed envelope from his briefcase. It's addressed to Abigail. He slides it across the table, and I reach for it, my hands trembling. The paper feels heavy, like it holds more than words. Cassandra snorts. "A letter," she says. Probably some sob story she fed him. I clutch the envelope, my heart pounding, but I don't open it. Not here, not with their eyes burning into me. Aunt Margaret stands her chair, tipping back. I want to see that will, she demands. "There's got to be a mistake." Mr. Harold shakes his head. "It's legally binding, Margaret. George's wishes are clear." Her face twists, and she turns to me, her voice low and cutting. "You think you've won, don't you?" she says. "You'll never belong here no matter what that paper says." The words land like a fist, and I feel something break inside me, a fragile hope I didn't know I was holding. The room erupts into whispers, accusations flying. Cassandra's voice rises above them, calling me a fraud, a leech. Brooke mutters something about contesting the will, her eyes glinting with malice. I sit there, the envelope in my hands, my vision blurring, the lake house. Grandpa's love was supposed to be my anchor, but now it feels like a weight pulling me under. Their voices swirl around me, loud and relentless, and I'm drowning in their anger, my own heart too raw to fight back. The dining room door swings shut behind the last of my family, their angry whispers fading as they head to their cars. I'm still sitting at the table. Grandpa's sealed letter in my hands, its edges creased from my grip. The air smells of polished wood and coffee gone cold. My heart still racing from Cassandra's accusations, Aunt Margaret's venom, but something shifts inside me. I'm done shrinking. This house, Grandpa's house, is mine, and I won't let them take that away. I slip into the kitchen, needing space to think. The counters are cluttered with half-empty platters from breakfast, and the sinks piled with dishes. I set the letter down carefully, like it might break, and start washing a plate, the hot water grounding me. My hands move slowly, but my mind's racing. Grandpa's words from the note in the tackle box echo, "Don't let them dim your light." I take a deep breath, the steam rising around me, and decide to open the letter. It's quiet now, just the hum of the fridge and the distant sound of car engines pulling away. I slit the envelope with a butter knife, my fingers unsteady. Grandpa's handwriting fills the page, steady and familiar. "Abigail, my heart. He writes, this house is your home, always was. I'm sorry for the pain this family caused you. Make this place a light for others who feel lost." My eyes burn, but I keep reading. He talks about the summers we spent here, how I'd sit with him on the porch, listening to his stories when no one else would. He knew they pushed me out, and this was his way of pulling me back. I fold the letter, tucking it into my pocket, and feel a spark of something new. Resolve, maybe. I'm not just going to keep this house. I'm going to make it mean something. I grab my phone and find Ellie's number. She's still here, lingering by the porch, unsure if she's welcome after the chaos. "Hey, Ellie," I say when she picks up, her voice hesitant. "Want to help me clean this place up? We could use it." She pauses, then says, "Yeah, Abby, I'd like that." Her voice is small but warm, and I feel a little less alone. We start in the living room, sweeping up crumbs and stacking chairs. Ellie's quiet at first, but as we work, she opens up. "I always loved this house," she says, dusting a shelf. "Grandpa let me read his old books here." I smile, remembering how he'd sneak her extra cookies. "Me too," I say. "Let's make it ours again." We move to the porch next, scrubbing the tables where the family laughed without me. My arms ache, but it feels good, like I'm claiming something back. I pause, looking out at the lake, its surface calm under the midday sun. Cassandra's threat to contest the will lingers in my mind, her voice sharp. She manipulated him. I shake it off, my jaw tightening. Let her try. This is my home now, and I'm not running. I turn to Ellie, who's wiping down a railing, her locket catching the light. "I'm keeping this place," I say, my voice steady. She nods, her eyes bright. "Good," she says. "Grandpa would have wanted that." I feel a fire kindling inside me, small, but growing, ready to burn through their doubt. Ellie and I finish scrubbing the porch, the wood gleaming under the afternoon sun. My muscles ache, but there's a clarity in the work, like I'm wiping away more than just dirt. I step back, wiping sweat from my brow, and notice a rusty toolbox by the steps one Grandpa used for dock repairs. It's a reminder of the summers we spent fixing loose boards together, his hands steady as he taught me to hammer nails straight. I decide right then I'm starting with the dock. I call a local contractor, my voice firm as I explain the job. It's just a small repair, but it's mine to make. I dip into my savings, the ones I've scraped together from late nights at my office job, and it feels like a declaration. This house isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility. Ellie overhears, her eyes wide. "You're really doing this?" she says, half question, half awe. I nod, a small smile breaking through. "Yeah, I am. I want this place to be more than a family feud." We head to the dock, paint cans in hand, the lake shimmering beside us. Ellie picks a soft blue, saying it reminds her of Grandpa's old flannel shirts. We paint in silence at first, the brushstrokes steadying my nerves. I think about his letter, his words about making this place a light. I tell Ellie my idea, turning the lake house into a retreat, a space for people who feel like they don't belong. Her face lights up. "Like a sanctuary?" she asks. "Exactly," I say, my heart lifting at her excitement. I pull out my phone and draft a letter to my dad, my fingers hesitating over the keys. I haven't seen him in years, not since he moved across the country after the divorce. But Grandpa's will stirred something, and I need to try. I write about the lake house, about how I'm keeping it alive, and ask if he'll visit. It's short, but it feels like a step, like I'm reaching across a chasm. I hit send, my chest tight with hope and fear. As we paint, Ellie opens up more, her voice soft but steady. "Cassandra used to make me feel small too," she says, brushing a streak of blue onto the dock. "Like I wasn't enough." I pause, my brush hovering. "You're enough, Ellie," I say, meeting her eyes. We both are. She smiles, a real one, and I feel a bond forming, something solid in this shaky weekend. We finish the first section of the dock. The fresh paint catching the light, and it feels like a promise. I stand stretching my back and walk to the living room. The photo wall looms, still missing me. I pull the faded picture of me and Grandpa from my purse, the one from my car, and pin it to the wall right in the center. My younger self beams next to him, holding a tiny fish, his arm around me. It's small, but it's mine, a claim no one can take. I step back, my breath steady, and feel the weight of their words lift just a fraction. Aunt Margaret's text buzzes in my pocket, cold and sharp. "Don't ruin our legacy." I don't reply. I just stand there, the photo anchoring me, my resolve quiet, but unyielding. A week has passed since the will reading, and I'm still at the lake house, the quiet settling into my bones. The kitchen smells of fresh coffee and sawdust from the dock repairs I've started. My phone buzzes with a voicemail from Mr. Harold, the lawyer. And I play it, my hands pausing over a stack of plates. Cassandra's filed a legal challenge. He says, her voice calm but firm, claiming Grandpa wasn't in his right mind. My stomach twists, but I'm not surprised. I expected her to fight. I call him back, my voice steady. and he assures me the will's airtight, backed by Grandpa's notarized intent. Still, the thought of her dragging this out stings like a bruise I can't stop pressing. I step outside, the morning air cool against my skin, and see Ellie's car pulling up. She's brought a box of Grandpa's old letters, her face bright with purpose. "Found these in his attic," she says, setting the box on the porch table. "Some are for you." I open one, my fingers careful, and find Grandpa's words about the lake house, how he wanted it to be a haven. My heart lifts, but then my phone lights up with a notification. It's a social media post from Brook Public, and biting Abigail stole our family's legacy. Greedy outsider. My chest tightens, the words cutting deeper than I want to admit. I close the app, my hands shaking, and focus on the letters instead. Uncle David calls later, his voice hesitant. "Abigail. I'm sorry about the tension," he says. "Maybe we could share the property, keep the peace." I pause, the phone heavy in my hand. I think of how he stayed silent when Cassandra called me a fraud, how he looked away when Aunt Margaret said I didn't belong. "No," I say, my voice quiet but firm. "This is mine. Grandpa chose me." There's a long silence, and he sighs, saying he'll talk to the others. I hang up, my pulse steady, but my heart heavy, wondering if I've just burned a bridge. Ellie's still here, sorting letters with me on the porch. She pulls out one with my name in bold ink, her eyes curious. I open it, and it's Grandpa's handwriting again, this time mentioning a hidden safe in the house, something for Abigail's future. My breath catches. A safe. I look at Ellie, her expression mirroring my surprise. "Where would he hide it?" she asks, her voice low, like we're kids on a treasure hunt. I don't know yet, but the idea feels like a secret he left just for me, a lifeline amidst the family's storm. I walk to the living room, the photo wall now bearing my picture with Grandpa, a small victory. But Brooke's post gnaws at me, her words echoing in my head, "Greedy outsider." I wonder how many people saw it, how many believe her. The contractor's truck pulls up outside, ready to finish the dock, and I force myself to focus. I'm building something here, something real. But as I step onto the porch, my phone buzzes again, another message from Cassandra, short and cold. "You'll regret this." The air feels heavier, her threat lingering like a shadow I can't shake. I stand in the attic, the air thick with dust and the faint smell of old cedar. Ellie's beside me, her flashlight beam cutting through the dimness as we search for Grandpa's hidden safe. My fingers brush against a loose panel behind a stack of crates, and my heart skips. There it is, a small metal box tucked into the wall, its lock rusted but intact. I turn the key Ellie found in the letters, my hands steady, despite the weight of Cassandra's threat still lingering in my mind. The safe creaks open, revealing a deed in my name and a bank statement for a savings account, modest but enough to keep this place alive. My breath catches a quiet gratitude swelling. Ellie gasps, her eyes wide. "He really planned this for you," she says, her voice soft with awe. I nod, tracing the deed's edges, feeling Grandpa's trust like a hand on my shoulder. I decide then to use the money for the retreat to make this house a place for others like us. I call the contractor, adding a community room to the renovation plans. My voice firm despite the knot in my chest. This is what Grandpa wanted, not their fights. But then Aunt Margaret's car pulls up, unannounced, gravel crunching under her tires. I meet her on the porch, my stomach tight. She's in a crisp blazer, her face set like stone. "Abigail," she says, her voice low. "We need to talk about this house. It's not just yours." I stand straighter, the deed's weight in my pocket grounding me. "Grandpa gave it to me," I say, calm but unyielding. Her eyes narrow and she steps closer. "You're tearing this family apart," she says, her words sharp but quiet, like she's trying not to explode. I don't flinch, but my heart aches, her accusation cutting into old wounds. She turns to leave, then pauses, her hand on the car door. "You'll never be one of us," she says, not looking back. The words land softly, but they burn, each one a reminder of every sidelong glance, every exclusion. I watch her drive away, the dust settling slowly, and feel Ellie's hand brush mine, a small gesture of solidarity. We go back to the attic, sorting through more letters, but the air feels heavier now, her words echoing. My dad's email arrives that evening, short but careful. He's coming next week, wants to talk. I read it twice, my fingers hovering over the reply button, but I don't write back yet. The safe's contents are spread on the attic floor, a locket matching Ellie's catching my eye with a tiny photo of me and Grandpa inside smiling by the lake. I hold at my throat tight and feel the family's anger pressing in their silence louder than their words. I'm winning, but it doesn't feel like it, not when I'm still alone in this big house, their shadows lingering. The lake house smells of fresh paint and cedar, its walls now a soft cream that catches the morning light. It's been a month since the chaos of the reunion, and the place feels alive again, not with family tension, but with something new. I've turned the dining room into a gathering space, tables pushed together for a group of local kids who, like me, never quite fit in. Their laughter drifts through the open windows as I set out trays of lemonade and cookies, my hands steady but my heart full. Ellie's here helping me arrange chairs, her confidence growing with every visit. She's taken to this place, her ideas for activities spilling out faster than I can keep up. We're hosting our first event today, a small workshop for teens who feel like outsiders. I watch her joke with a shy girl by the door, her locket swinging as she moves, and I feel a warmth I haven't in years. This is what Grandpa meant, I think, a place for healing. I step outside to check the garden I've started by the dock, a patch of earth where I've planted marigolds from seeds I found in Grandpa's shed. The tiny green shoots are just breaking through, delicate but stubborn. I kneel, brushing dirt from my hands, and think about how far I've come. The family's anger still lingers, a faint echo, but it doesn't own me anymore. I've got paint on my jeans, a budget to balance, and a purpose that feels bigger than their words. Ellie joins me carrying a stack of notebooks for the kids. "You're doing something amazing here, Abby," she says, her voice quiet but sure. I smile, brushing a leaf from my sleeve. "It's just a start," I say, but I feel it too, a shift inside me. I'm not just Grandpa's granddaughter anymore. I'm building something of my own. We head back inside and I hang a new photo on the wall, one of me and my dad from his visit last week. His smile is tentative, but it's a start, a crack in the wall between us. The kids start arriving, their voices a mix of nerves and excitement. I greet them, my tone warm, and share a story about my first summer here, how Grandpa taught me to skip stones. They listen, some nodding, others fidgeting, but I see myself in their eyes, that quiet hunger to belong. A neighbor stops by, mentioning she heard about a family feud from Cassandra. I shrug, my smile steady. "Let them talk," I say, and turn back to the kids, my heart lighter than I expected. I sit on the porch steps later, watching the group draw in their notebooks, Ellie guiding them with a patience I didn't know she had. The lake sparkles under the sun, and I feel a stillness settle in, like I'm finally breathing after holding my breath too long. I'm not just keeping this house, I'm making it mean something for me and for them. The thought anchors me, quiet but strong, as the day unfolds. The sun dips low, painting the lake in shades of pink and gold, as I sit on the dock, my legs dangling over the edge. The kids have gone home, their notebooks tucked under their arms, and the house is quiet now, just the soft lapping of water against the boards. I hold Grandpa's final letter, its pages worn from reading his words about forgiveness, settling into me like a slow tide. I'm not angry anymore, not like I was. The hurt's still there, but it's softer, like a bruise fading. I pull out a small knife and carve my initials into the dock's edge right beside Grandpa's old ones, the wood yielding under the blade. It's not about claiming the house. It's about promising to keep going, to make this place what he dreamed. The act feels final, like closing a door on the family's venom. I don't need their approval, not anymore. The lake reflects the sky, calm and vast, and I let it hold me. Uncle David texted earlier asking to visit. I said yes, not because I owe him, but because I'm ready to listen. His apology might not fix everything, but it's a start, and I'm okay with small steps. My dad's coming again soon too. His email's less guarded now. I don't expect miracles, just a chance to talk, to understand. The thought doesn't scare me like it used to. I'm learning to let go of what I can't control. I walk back to the house, the air cool against my skin, and find Ellie inside sketching plans for the next workshop. She looks up, her smile quiet, but real. "You're good at this, Abby," she says, and I feel a warmth spread through me. I sit beside her, picking up a pencil to add to her sketch, a simple outline of a bonfire pit for the kids. It's small, but it's ours, a piece of something new. I stand and look out the window, the lake house glowing softly in the dusk. A neighbor's dog barks in the distance, and I think about the stories this place will hold, the ones I'm writing now. The family's voices, their accusations feel far away like a storm that's passed. I don't need to fight them anymore. I'm here building something real, and that's enough. I fold Grandpa's letter, slip it into my pocket, and let the quiet settle my breath slow and even. 6 months later, the lake house hums with life. Not the tense chatter of family, but the warm buzz of strangers who've become something like kin. It's a crisp January morning, the air sharp with pine and frost, and I'm setting up for a weekend retreat. The living room's packed with folding chairs, a mismatched collection I found at thrift stores, and a whiteboard where people will share their stories. I've turned the old guest room into a memory space, its walls lined with Grandpa's sketches and photos of everyone who's walked through these doors. It's not perfect, but it's mine. I'm different now, steadier. The girl who stood on that dock, stinging from Cassandra's words, feels like a shadow I've outgrown. I wake up early these days, brewing coffee before dawn, watching the lake turn silver in the light. Today I'm arranging mugs on a table, each one chipped or quirky, collected from flea markets. They're for the group arriving soon, families piecing themselves back together after their own fractures. I know what that's like. Ellie's here setting out snacks, her laughter brighter than I've ever heard. She's staying for the weekend, helping lead a writing session for the teens. She's found her place here, her confidence blooming like the marigolds outside. I catch her eye and we share a nod, a quiet understanding. She's not just my cousin anymore. She's my partner in this. The first group arrives, a mix of parents and kids, their faces hesitant but open. I greet them, my voice warm, and offer a mug of cocoa, watching their shoulders relax. Uncle David's coming later, his first visit since our call. He sent a text last week, short but sincere, apologizing for staying silent too long. I don't expect everything to mend, but I'm open to trying. My dad's been by a few times too, helping fix a leaky faucet or stack firewood. Our talks are slow, careful, but there's something. I don't carry the old weight of his absence anymore. I've let it slip away like leaves on the lake. I step outside to check the bonfire pit, the one Ellie and I sketched out months ago. It's rough, just stones and ash, but it's where we'll gather tonight, sharing stories under the stars. The air smells of wood smoke and winter, and I pause, my boots crunching on the frost. I think about the retreat, how it's become a rhythm, a purpose. It's not about proving anything to my family. It's about building something for people who need it. I'm not invisible anymore, not to these strangers, not to myself. The lake glints in the distance, its surface calm despite the chill. I pull my scarf tighter, feeling the weight of the past settle into something softer. The family's voices. Their accusations are faint now, like a radio turned low. I'm not fighting them anymore. I'm living. The first cars pull up, and I head back inside, ready to welcome them, my heart steady, my steps sure. The bonfire crackles its glow, warming the faces of the families gathered around it. I sit on a log, my hands wrapped around a mug, listening as a quiet boy shares a story about feeling unseen at school. His voice wavers, but he keeps going, and I nod, feeling a pang of recognition. Ellie's across from me, her eyes bright as she encourages a girl to speak next. The stars are sharp above the lake, and the air carries the scent of pine and smoke. I'm not leading this moment. I'm part of it, woven into something bigger. Uncle David arrives late, slipping into the circle with a hesitant nod. He catches my eye, his face softer than I remember, and mouths, "I'm sorry." I nod back, not because everything's fixed, but because I don't need to carry the grudge anymore. My dad's here too, sitting quietly, his hands folded. We talked earlier about his regrets, my childhood, and the years we lost. It's not perfect, but it's honest, and that's enough for now. I stand to share my story, my voice steady but low. I tell them about the reunion, the sting of being pushed out, the weight of Grandpa's gift. I don't linger on the hurt. I talk about this house, how it's become a place for people like us. People who felt like they don't belong. The group listens, some nodding, others staring into the fire. I feel their stories mingling with mine, a quiet strength building in the silence between us. Later, I walk to the lake's edge alone, the bonfire's glow fading behind me. The water's still reflecting the night sky, and I think about what I've learned. Belonging isn't about fitting into someone else's frame. It's about building your own, choosing who you let in, and letting go of those who can't see you. Grandpa gave me this house, but I gave myself permission to claim it. That's the real gift, the one I'm still unwrapping day by day. I got a letter from Aunt Margaret last week, stiff but apologetic, asking to visit. I haven't replied yet, but I will when I'm ready. Cassandra's gone quiet, moved to another state, and I don't wish her ill. I just don't need her approval anymore. This house, these people, this life I'm building, it's mine. I look out at the lake, my breath fogging in the cold, and feel a quiet peace settle like a stone sinking to the bottom. What's a moment that made you feel truly seen, like you finally belonged? Share it below. I'd love to hear your story. If this touched you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. Thank you for being here, for listening. Here's to finding your place, wherever that may be.